just hiked up the river here a few minutes ago, and I'm looking for river treasure today. You know, stuff that swimmers might have lost, like rings and iPhones and cameras and whatnot. I got to this really beautiful area right here. There's a neat little waterfall, and you can see that people really love it here, although they're slobs because there's broken beer bottles everywhere. A bunch of beer bottles down there. Okay, now they're trash, but I searched around here for about 15 minutes or so. I didn't find anything. I hiked upriver, and as I was working my way back down, I discovered a really cool thing on a rock up here, and I wanted to show it to you. I'm going to have to hike back upriver actually, because I didn't really take any good video of it when I was there. But the more I think about it, the more I think you'll appreciate it. You can see right here, this is the waterfall, and if you work your way upriver just a little bit, I know you can't really see it very well from here, but there's a flat rock right over there. Carved into that flat rock is an Indian, I think it's called a pictograph. It's petroglyph and pictograph. I guess it's a petroglyph. That's where they actually peck into the rock and they make art. Pictograph, I think, is when they paint. I think it's when they paint on the rock. I'm not 100% on that, but I am in Northern Virginia on the Rappahannock, and quite frankly, I've never seen anything like this on the East Coast. I've seen it out west a lot, especially like, you know, in the Utah area and Moab, you know, all out in there, but I've never seen it here, and I think it's really cool. Go over and look at it and tell me what you think. I really don't think it's historic. I think it's a prehistoric piece of art, so let's go look at it. That's the waterfall area right down there. And I just hiked up through here. Look at this beautiful rock. I mean, this is a work of art. I mean, I'm so happy I found this today. I have not found any river treasure. Look, there's a beer can right there. But I have found treasure, and this is it. By the way, I'm going to go with petroglyph as the final answer on what this is. But isn't that neat? You look here, this is spiral thing. I'm assuming that's a snake symbol, although I'm not 100% on that. Kind of looks like a snake to me. And you can see how they pecked out down here as well, all the way across the bottom. And on the top they did a different type of hash mark. But isn't that cool? Hope you can see it. It's just so neat. It's really neat to find something like that, especially here in the East, because I don't think I've ever seen one of these on the East Coast before. But I know there are a lot of Indians in this area. I have read a good bit about them. And like I said, we're on the Rappahannock. And where we're located is on what they call a fall line of the river, which is where the river turns into a slow, meandering river as it's going into the ocean and is affected by tides to rocks. So it hits the rocks and starts going up through rapids and waterfalls and stuff. And the reason the Indians like this area so much is because the fish would congregate here as they're spawning upriver. That goes for like the shad and especially the sturgeon. We don't have sturgeon much anymore here on the East Coast, although they're coming back. But these are fish that were very numerous and huge. They weighed hundreds of pounds. I think they were up to like 12 to 15 feet long. The Indians would come here when they were spawning and they would catch them, and supposedly they would jump on their backs and ride them. It was kind of like a test of manhood if you could like stay on one of these things. And this is an area where they actually camped a lot and tried to catch them and did catch them. I've read that before, so I'm 100% on that. But isn't this neat? I didn't know these were out here. Just kind of stumbled upon it. And just to give you a little bit more historical background on the fall line, you know, as I said, that's where the rivers change. It goes from being tidal to the mountainous type river with its rapids. I-95, Interstate 95 in the United States, which runs up and down the East Coast, roughly parallels the fall line. And it does that because the European Americans would build cities and towns right there where the river would go from being easily navigable from the ocean to where they would have to get all the cargo out of the boats and haul it by wagon up into the hills. Or conversely, they could bring it from the hills down to this point, put it on boats, and easily float out to the ocean and or to the harbors and put their cargo on the boats to take overseas. The Indians liked it too because the rock stopped the fish and it slowed them down, and they could catch the sturgeon by the hundreds. I hope I got that even partially right. I think I did. And I hope you enjoyed that, because that made my trip. My day for sure in my trip. That's just really cool.